Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to start the series for Halloween. It's going to start off with Strange Days by The Doors. I have some sheet music that I arranged. It's going to be free and it's on my website, veronicapiano88.com. Go over, get yourself a copy, come back to this tutorial. We'll learn this together. You can also take online lessons with me, and your first lesson is free. Just contact me on my contact form from my website. And because we are offering a quality education for you or your children, please feel free to make a donation on the website. It is how we can provide this for free and keep our channel going. So thank you so much for that. All right, let's head right on into Strange Days. I've selected an organ sound for this, something kind of close to what actually happens in the song. This is in the key of E minor. We're going to start up at a high E, and I'm going to show you the organ riff that begins the song. So if you start with your fifth finger over on the high E, your second finger on the B below it, it's going to go E, B, D, A. You can do that all in one hand position. E, B, D, A. And for that matter, let's go and get B, G, and maybe move your middle finger over to A and down to E. That's what you're going to need to know, and you're going to play this essentially 4 times in a row. And on the 4th time, on the 4th beat, we're just going to be bringing in a beat in the left hand. It's going to be the pickup to the bass notes. So I'm going to show you how the bass part's going to go for the following 4 measures. And it's going to be basically this format for the whole song, rhythmically and kind of note-wise too. So it's going to be an octave of E's down in your left hand, along with a B, and sometimes we're going to be using a D. E, E, B, D, A, B, E, E, B, D, A, B, E, E, B, D, A, B, E, E, B, D, A, B. And that pattern's actually going to repeat throughout the rest of the song, but it's going to move into other chords, kind of like a blues chord progression. But this is still part of the opening. This is actually probably the most complicated part to put hands together, so you need the most practice on this part, but I want to show you how the right hand's going to go. It has a lot of eighth notes that are going to go against that rhythm of the left hand. So here is the right hand. First I'm going to play it 1 time through, and then I'll just tell you what notes that I have and any rhythmic changes that are going to happen. Mainly in the 3rd measure. So the 3rd measure out of 4 measures has a rhythmic difference. Play that a lot slower than the song, and really actually you're going to want to play that an octave higher, but I wrote it in this octave because it's much easier to read in this octave. So the notes are going to go B, E, D, A, B, D, A, E, B, D, G, A, G, A, B, B, D, A, B, D, A, B, D, G, A, B, D, G, A. Here's what it sounds like when you play it up to speed and without me talking. Alright, here is when you put the 2 hands together. I'm just going to play it slowly so you can hear how they match up together and kind of get used to the groove, and then from there just work on speeding it up. So we're going to head on into the verse. I love this song because personally I find it very interesting. His chord choices and the chord changes. It's written in the key of E minor, so predominantly there's E minor and A minor. These measures, Strange Days, are E minor and A minor. But then he'll throw in something like a G major chord and an F sharp major chord. In fact, he'll throw in G majors and sometimes G minors. So I'm just going to take you through possibly, let's do 4 measures at a time. So let's start off with a bass line, because the bass line is actually the same as the bass line we were doing the previous 4 measures, same rhythm and everything. So it's going to go E, E, B, D, A, B. But instead of going back to the E chord, we're going to do the same thing but over on the A minor chord. So it's going to be A, E, G, back to E minor, E, E, B, D, A, B, back to A minor, A, E, G, back to E minor, A minor, E minor. We're going to turn to a G chord, so we're going to do this a little bit different. But then it's going to go to F sharp, C sharp, F sharp. Then G. Okay, meanwhile, this bass that's going on right now, I'm just going to play this through at the speed of the song. Alright, here's what's going on with the right hand. I tried to keep this predominantly chords so you have a nice full sound without tons of eighth notes that are going against the eighth notes of your left hand. So we start off with an E minor chord, G, B, and E. Then it goes to the closest A minor chord, which is A, C, and E. Over to G, the E minor chord as B, E, G, and E minor chord as G, B, E. Now it's going to change to A minor without letting go of the E. We're just going to let go of the 2 lower notes and change them to A and C. So we'll go like this. Alright, so notice that E held over for 2 chords. Alright, the next 4 measures, you start off with E minor as G, B, E, then A minor, A, C, E, to G major, B, D, G, and then down a half step, all notes down a half step, A sharp, C sharp, and F sharp. And here's how those 8 measures fit together. Now up to speed. Move on to the following 8 measures. It's going to go up to, let's start off in the same format. Let's start off with the left hand. We have the G, then C minor, G minor, C minor, G minor, C minor, G minor. It's all just G minors and C minors. So we're going to have basically 2 hand positions. So we have G minor, it's going to be G, G, D, F, D, F. When it's C minor, it's going to be C, C, G, B flat, E flat, G, and then back over to G minor. have the G major chord to a B major chord, which is D sharp, F sharp, and B. Everything down a half step for B flat. Then to A, which is CFA. To an E chord, E triad. And when he goes, yeah, we're going to do E major chord. So E, G sharp, B, and down to B, E. Alright, now under all of this, the left hand kind of changes to do just straight up eighth notes. So we have a full measure of G to B, B flat, F, and then octave E's. To B, B flat, now the last 8 measures, we're just kind of do this all together. It's actually 4 measures that just get played twice and it ends a little bit differently. So the bass notes are going to go G, G, B, B, B flat, F, G, B, B flat, F, G, B, B flat, F, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial for Strange Days, the very first of our series for Halloween this year. If you have any comments or would like to actually learn Ray's version of this piece, which does not include the melody line, but just everything that the keyboard does, please leave that in the comments, and maybe we'll work on that in the very near future as part of this same series. Please get your free sheet music over on my website, and I hope to see you in lessons again very soon.